How did your parents lie to you? My mom convinced me my dad was dead until I turned 16. She always said he died in a motorcycle accident when I was a baby. Some drunk driver hit him and fled the scene. Every year on his death anniversary, we'd visit this random grave at Oakland Cemetery with flowers and little notes I wrote to him. She'd tell me stories about how much he loved me, how he used to sing to me every night before bed. She even kept this old leather jacket she claimed was his, letting me wear it when I started high school. "You look just like him," she'd say, tears in her eyes. I believed every word until the day I got my first job at this local diner. I was cleaning tables when this guy came in, ordered coffee, and just stared at me. Not in a creepy way, more like he'd seen a ghost. When I brought his refill, his hands were shaking. "You're Alice's kid, aren't you?" he asked. I nodded, thinking he was probably one of Mom's old friends. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. "You look exactly like your father." I played along, mentioned the motorcycle accident. He looked confused. "What accident?" "Last I heard, Nathan moved to Colorado after the divorce." My coffee pot crashed to the floor. The guy realized his mistake immediately, tried to backtrack, but it was too late. I called my best friend Zoe to cover my shift and drove straight home, my mind racing. Mom wasn't there, but I knew where she kept all her important papers, in this fireproof safe under her bed. My hands were trembling so bad I messed up the combination twice. Inside, buried under insurance documents, I found their divorce papers. My dad hadn't died. They'd split up when I was 11 months old. He'd tried to get partial custody, but Mom fought it, claimed he was unstable, dangerous. The court believed her. She got full custody and he wasn't even allowed supervised visits. I sat there on her bedroom floor reading court transcripts about a man I'd been told was dead for 15 years. There were letters he'd written me that she'd never shared, birthday cards returned unopened, even photos of him holding me as a baby. When Mom got home and found me surrounded by the papers, she started crying, saying she did it to protect me, claimed he had anger issues, that he'd threatened her. But the court documents told a different story. She'd made it all up because he'd fallen in love with someone else. I packed a bag that night and went to stay with Zoe, used my next paycheck to hire a private investigator. Took him less than a week to find my dad in Denver. When I called the number he gave me, a woman answered. I almost hung up, but then I heard his voice in the background. "Nathan, some girl's asking for you." The phone went quiet. Then, "Hello?" I couldn't speak at first. Finally managed to say, "This is Haley. I'm your daughter." He started crying. Said he'd tried to find me for years, but Mom had moved us around so much. He'd hired 3 different lawyers, but she always found loopholes, ways to keep him away. Eventually, he'd given up, thinking I was better off believing he was dead than knowing my mother had stolen my chance to have a father. I flew to Denver the next weekend. He was waiting at the airport with his wife Anna and their 2 kids, my half-siblings I never knew existed. The moment I saw him, I knew that guy at the diner was right. We looked exactly alike. We sat in their living room for hours while he showed me photos, told me real stories about my babyhood, how he used to take me swimming every Saturday, how my first word was Dada, how much it killed him every time he drove past our old house, hoping to catch a glimpse of me. Mom kept calling, but I ignored her. She'd had 15 years to tell the truth. Instead, she'd made me write letters to a stranger's grave, cry over a father who was very much alive, and miss out on having a real relationship with him. 2 months later, I moved to Denver for college. Mom showed up at my dorm unannounced, begging me to understand. Said she was young and hurt, afraid of losing me. I told her she just lost me anyway, just 15 years later than she planned.